Hopefully I'm in focus. Yo guys, what's going on? It's TD Tech here, and in today's video we'll be pretty much going over my top speakers of 2017, 16, and pretty much what I think is the best Bluetooth speaker lineup of 2017. In the video I'm going to give my pros and cons, like just my honest opinion on each speaker. So without further ado, let's get right into the first speaker. So the first speaker is this little metal case Razer Leviathan. This thing goes on, I think Amazon for like $180 or something like that, which puts this speaker as the second cheapest on the list. Honestly, my pros and cons about this is that my pros are like, it's small. It's really small. It's really well built. Like I've dropped this before, it's metal case, so it's gonna like withstand falls. My cons about the speaker is that it lacks great sound quality. Honestly, it's made by a gaming company who makes gaming peripherals. This is a Bluetooth speaker coming in at $180 with just little to no features whatsoever. You cannot charge your phone with this. There's no USB pass-through to charge your phone or USB output. You can connect two of these using whatever Razer's doing with their like dual up or whatever. I don't even know what they call it. You can't connect two of these. Other than that though, there's not really anything special about the speaker. $180 for this speaker, you can get way better. This is the second cheapest on the list, but there's way better on this list for a little bit more and less. So let's get right into the next speaker then. My next speaker on the list is the JBL Charge 3. Everybody knows this is one of my favorite speakers of all time. I absolutely love this speaker. It's average size, okay? Tons of features. You can connect up to two of these. JBL might release an update, maybe you can connect more than that. It does have the JBL Connect, so you can connect two of these together for stereo sound if you want to, or you can use the party up mode to connect more. This is fully IPX7 waterproof, so you can submerge this underwater. I actually have a video on that if you want to check it out. Other than that, nothing really else. You can charge your phone with the little USB output on the back, and this speaker, honestly, it sounds really great. I guess my cons about it is that the stand on the bottom, it kind of like when you place it down, if you hit it once, it's going to start rolling. Other than that, the sound quality is a bit weird. It sounds a tiny bit muffled in the treble area. That's due to the waterproofing of the speaker. And this is the cheapest speaker on the list at $150. I've definitely seen the price go down to like $100 for this speaker. So let's get into the next speaker. The next speaker on the list is the UE Megaboom. Now we're getting into the $300 range. So those were the two under $300 range. These are the $300 speakers. It is a bit expensive, and that's one of my cons about this speaker. It will run you $300. I haven't seen it any cheaper than $300. These barely ever go on sale. But this is the perfect travel speaker. This thing, you can throw anything at it and it'll survive it almost. It's IPX7 waterproof like the JBL Charge 3. The speaker offers full 360 surround, so wherever you are, you're gonna get the best quality sound wherever you're standing. Now the thing is, this does use a Bluetooth pass-through or Bluetooth connection. You can connect this wired, but you have to go into one of the little holes in the bottom, which makes it completely impractical to use around water, because if water does get in there, it will damage your speaker. That is a thing about the Charge 3 as well. In order to use the USB pass-through, you have to connect it through the little flap, which pretty much gets rid of the whole entire waterproof feature of the speaker until you close it back up. So the quality on the speaker isn't the best. The Charge 3 sounds better, in my opinion. It also has a 20-hour battery and around half to low volume. Max volume, I don't know, it's probably maybe 5 hours at most, I would say. But it's honestly a great speaker for what you get, and it does have a lack of features. You can connect two of these at once using the UE's app, but you can't like charge your phone or anything with it. So a lack of features, but great overall speaker. Now keeping that $300 price tag real, next speaker we have is the JBL XTREME. Everybody knows this is my all-time favorite speaker. Before I say it's my favorite speaker again, I'm gonna correct myself in that there's a new favorite speaker, and you can see it right behind me. But this is honestly one of the best speakers I've ever used, and it's just, my reasoning for that is because it has everything you want. It's portable. You can connect this strap to it, as you can see right now. You can connect up to two devices and charge them simultaneously. It has a decently long battery, not as long as like the Charge 3 or the Libratone ZIPP or the UE Megaboom. It comes out at 15 hours, probably on half volume. Max volume will probably last you around 5 hours. Other than the Libratone ZIPP and the Marshall STANMORE, this is the best sounding speaker out of all these. This is honestly probably my best bang for your buck and my favorite speaker. other than the Libratone ZIPP, that is my favorite speaker on this list, but we'll get to that. We're gonna save the best for last. So things that I do like about this is that, well, I've listed a lot of those. It's also water resistant, so you can splash water with it as long as you have this sealed. Other than that, my cons about this is that it has the same problem as the Charge 3. When you set it down on a table, it will roll back and forth. It's kind of not practical when you have it by water and you don't want to drop this thing in water, because if you drop this thing in water, it's done. Other than that though, not really any cons about it. The next speaker on the list is, I can't even, the Marshall STANMORE. This speaker runs you around $400. That's like the average price I've seen it. I have seen it for a little bit cheaper, and I have seen it at its main retail price at, I think, $500 is when it first came out. The sound quality on this one easily is the best. It's the best sound quality you can easily get. That is if you are using the wired connection through the aux input. If you are using Bluetooth connection, the sound quality is probably par to the XTREME. It's great still, yeah, but there's a lot of cons. That's my only pro about this speaker. It sounds amazing. Now my cons add up with this speaker. One, it's big as hell. Look how big this speaker is, okay? Like, compare it to like the JBL XTREME, right? This is how big the XTREME is. This is how big the Marshall is, okay? The STANMORE is huge. That's one of my main cons about it. Two, I don't really like the way it looks at all. It does have that vintage look to it, but it just does not fit anywhere in your house to look nice. A third thing about it is that you have to have it plugged in. There's no doubt about it, you have to have it plugged in for it to work. There's no battery solutions, there's no nothing. You have to have it plugged in at all times for it to work, and I guess that is a reason why it might sound the best, because you have to have a wired connection. Let's get right on to the next speaker on the list. Now, this speaker is a great concept speaker, but it kind of fell short. In the final product, this is the Bose Soundlink 3. I like this speaker, but $300 price tag, it's not doable. There's an extreme lack of features here. It's a great speaker, don't get me wrong. It's great for like the simplistic people if they want to have like a basic speaker. Like, and when I say basic, I mean really basic speaker. You can't really do anything other than listen to music with this. You can connect it through Bluetooth or with aux signal. Other than that though, that's it. That's all you have to do with this speaker. You can't do anything else. It does get pretty loud, I would say. The build quality is okay with it. It looks okay, I guess. But a $300 price tag for a speaker this size first, maybe that thin, it's just, I don't see myself ever using a speaker like this. It's not practical. It's really thin, and I do see myself knocking it over once in a while. I haven't really knocked it over yet, but I've gotten close to knocking it over, which is a bad thing because it might damage the internal components of the speaker. Other than that though, great sound quality, not as good as the XTREME. So one, with the XTREME, same price tag, you get more features and stuff like that. Two, it's just, I'm not liking this speaker whatsoever. I mean, it's okay. So let's get on to the best speaker. Now this, probably, I don't know how many people know about this speaker, but this is the Libratone ZIPP. This is honestly my favorite speaker on the list. It has the most features. It's the nicest looking speaker in my opinion. With that TD Tech red, I'm just gonna call it that. Sorry Libratone, but TD Tech red, the TD Tech red and white, you know, I had to get it because to match my YouTube. It's just honestly, it's the nicest looking speaker on the list. It has the most features, so it's decently big, I would say. It's around the same size as the XTREME, maybe a little bit smaller actually. It's definitely lighter than the XTREME. The XTREME, that was another one of my cons, is that it's really heavy. This is really, really light. I really like the way it looks. It can fit into almost any environment. You can put this outside and it'll look beautiful. I'll have clips on the screen while I'm talking about this. But other than that, it's just a great overall speaker. I only have one con about that, and that is to like rename or change your soundstage, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi using their app. This is the only speaker on the list that has the most connections. You can use the USB to play music. You can use the aux input to play music, you can use Bluetooth, and you can use Wi-Fi. If you use the USB or Wi-Fi, you can get the highest quality sound. So Apple users and Spotify premium users benefit if you use the Wi-Fi built into the speaker, so connect the speaker to your Wi-Fi and have your phone connected to the same Wi-Fi. You can actually stream your music using AirPlay and you'll have the highest quality sound possible. And honestly, this is the best sounding speaker on the list. It's 360 sound, just like the Megaboom. So if you put this outside, you can hear it great from all angles, and it's just overall, it's my favorite speaker on the list. It has a little strap right here. You can use this to you can hang it on something. You can put it on your finger when you walk around like this. That's super, super handy. I've used it a lot. I took this out for a whole entire day, and on max volume, it's on like 50% battery. That's after me using it for around 10 hours. So I'd say 20 hours on max volume. That's insane for a speaker. And the price tag of this speaker right now, if you go on Libratone's website, it's $250. It's regular $300. So it's comparable and actually cheaper than some of the speakers on this list. Like the STANMORE is $400, the XTREME is $300. This can be found for $250 on Libratone's website. Other than that though, not really much else to say about the speaker. You can take the zipper off. Overall, it's my favorite speaker. I'll show a few of the features on screen. I'll list a few right now. If you're playing music and you want to pause the music or something, you can just press your hand on the top around the touchpad. Now the speaker, yes, it does have a touchpad. The speaker just not turned on. You pretty much put your hand on the touchpad and it'll hush your music. So let's say someone comes up to you and you want to have a conversation with them, but you're playing music and it's a really quick conversation. You just put your hand right on the top, it'll hush your music, and then you just take your hand off and it'll continue playing your music. Now the music will stay playing, but it'll just be very quiet. With the touchpad as well, you can go back and forth by just pressing the little buttons on the left and right. You can actually play from your favorite Spotify radio stations, and you can also play just local radio stations that you preset on the app. So you can have different sound stations, so you can have it sound better outside. You can have it so you can set it in a shelf and it'll put the music out better, and it'll sound better in a shelf pretty much. Other than that though, amazing overall speaker. This is the best one on my list. I'll leave a link for everything down in the description most likely. If not, there'll be an annotation on screen to a list of different links, or it'll have a list of all the speakers probably, most likely, if I choose to do it. Other than that though, thanks guys for watching. This has been a really hard video to make, to be honest. But yeah, so if you guys like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. I'll leave a link to all these speakers somewhere. I don't know exactly where yet. And I'll see you guys in the next video.